My Love of Life Energy is a podcast created by Anna Scott. Anna knows that every human being sees life uniquely. In this podcast, she will talk to people and learn from them. These conversations are to shine the brilliance of each human being she speaks to. Join her. After each exploration, you will expand on your insights and see truth and beauty.
Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to my podcast, My Love of Life Energy. And today we're continuing our series on the Gene Keys, and Molly Lynch of Exquisite Being is with me today. Hi, Molly.
Hi, Anna. Hi, everyone.
And today we are exploring the 41st Gene Key, and this.
Yeah, that's
exactly. The shadow is fantasy, the gift is anticipation, and the Siddhi is emanation. And it's working me. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in our little pre-convo, we're like, we may as well just press record because the 41st is alive and well in the last couple of days. So what part is alive and well in you? Alive and speaking to you?
Well, one of the things that you were about to say something about fantasy, the shadow of fantasy.
Yeah.
What it is. And that's where I'm like, okay, we got to record because I knew what you were about to say was going to be relevant.
Well, I was contemplating fantasy. I was with a friend yesterday and she has the 41st in a prominent, well, they're all prominent, but in her, her activation sequence, let's just say. And it was so powerful to contemplate fantasy because everybody fantasizes, right? It's like it's almost like the false hope. But what I was saying about the victim state of this shadow frequency, which all shadow frequencies are, I mean, essentially, if we really stay in that awareness. So, which just means to me giving away the power, our own power, to something external. So I was saying about fantasies, like we work up in a fantasy thinking something's going to happen on the outside for us just by our sheer fantasy of it, but there's no engagement into that. So it's also an external. So I'm saying this, there's nothing is required of me, as somebody else is going to save me, somebody else is going to take care of me and fix me and all this, instead of like where do I need to land within myself to know what to activate my dream rather than live in the fantasy of the dream.
So when you're talking about this is like I want to ground it into day-to-day life.
Right.
Is I went to my annual exam and the doctor said, well, we're going to keep you healthy. And in my mind, I'm like, there's no effing way you're going to keep me healthy. You're going to scrape my uterus and do a test and tell me something. But the fantasy, like my desire for good health is inside of me. And that translates into the food I eat, the sleep I get, whether I work out or not. And like I've been doing acupuncture for 23 years every month. That's an action.
Right. You're taking an action out of the actual dream of wanting or the intention to have good health, and it be your choice of how that goes.
Yeah.
And a fantasy, go ahead.
Well, and it's not a guarantee that I'll have good health.
Right.
Even though I take all those actions. That's the thing about like the expectation, like it doesn't mean that I'll have good health. But my desire and action, it sure increases the batting average, gets me onto the game board.
Yes, but how is that in fantasy? What would be, I mean, the example of the doctor, like, no, the fantasy would be that he would be the one in charge of your good health. Is that the fantasy? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's like putting it external to me based on what you said.
Right. We're just kind of saying it in the same different way.
Yeah.
And also the pain in that, because the fantasy, it's like a quick fix pleasure. Like we can fantasize all day. It's like we're getting the little maybe dopamine hits of that, but there's this deep longing to actually experience that in our outer world, in our physical earthly timeline. There's something really about the longing of that, the pain in that, the suffering actually of living maybe a life unlived in some way, maybe an internal life lived, but the connection is lost a little bit to the external as well, which is our playground to create. Like,
Well, it's like when you're saying that, I can feel in the fantasy, it almost feels like the emotion that comes with it is like a hopelessness.
oh, say more about that.
Well, it's like I want this thing, but I don't feel I have any power. I'm powerless to have it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only fantasize about it, but I don't believe that I have the energy or the resources to manifest it or to do anything about it.
Yeah, yeah. And the physiology on this is the adrenals. I just remembered that when you said that. So the drain on the adrenals are responsible for the hormone balance and all of that, but energy, I don't know deep physiology, but we know what the adrenals are about. And they
Yeah,
can throw us into fatigue. And that's if we're in too much fantasy and not using that energy in a cyclical or reciprocal way with the inner and outer, then it can take a toll on us physically.
it was interesting. I was looking at I told you this morning, like this gene key put me down a rabbit hole. And I went to look at, I went and looked at the I Ching that it's related to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like an emptying out of the mouth, like it's an emptying out and
It's a
filling up.
decrease in the I Ching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I looked at in the gene keys, there's this whole animal codex. And it was the eel is the shadow animal. And it's all about trusting our intuition, different
Mm-hmm.
layers of trusting the intuition.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that
So,
they were, I don't understand it all, but it's where I was going with it.
well, that's a beautiful point of awareness, like within the frequency of fantasy, to have intuition come in. It's like
Mm.
get on the eel and ride out into this gift, which is anticipation.
Mm.
Something, I don't know. Will you say more about your experience of intuition in this fantasy or
Well, the only thing I can see, like right now when I look, and that's the whole point of this podcast, is our intention, my intention is that we're wanting to share the power of when we look at something, what do we see? We'll see something fresh and new that might open up our world
Mhm,
because life isn't fixed.
mhm,
And what I'm seeing about the intuition is that, oh, it's interesting. When I realize that life isn't fixed,
mhm.
that I can really close my eyes and listen to my heart and feel something coming,
Yeah. Oh, mhm.
get a sense of, oh, I should do this.
Mm.
Like if I have a dream or a fantasy or turns into a desire, it's like, oh, I could do this to make it happen using my intuition.
Right. So listening in with what's your intuition saying? What's it sharing with you? And what's the frequency that it wants you to take?
Mhm.
Act in that. And that is anticipation. It's like, oh, the anticipation of the story unfolding. Like I see it, like it's like here's the page, like what's on the next page? Like it kind of gives me that feeling of like I'm anticipating good. I'm anticipating something generous and exciting and fun and fulfilling. I'm anticipating my heart to open more fully, or to be like sometimes, like, I want to be something different than I am, right? like there's that hopefulness. I think that you said that already, but as it leads into the gift.
Well, the gift, the anticipation is the gift. And I mean, it's such a profound gene key because he talked about the morphogenic fields. Like am I pronouncing it correctly?
Morphogenetic.
That there's this fields of energy, which I've understood all around us. And anticipation is taking what's from the past and sensing what's coming down from the field of life, like what's coming, like the story, or like you talked about the strands of light coming to us, like feeling the energy coming in.
Sometimes when I'm driving, like I just practice that in the sense of like the car in front of me, if I just feel it's going to turn. You kind of can feel the thing that's going to happen next. Is that your kind of meaning? The morphogenetic. And it's also, there's a mutability in it. So from fixed to the mutable energy of the unfolding, and where we enter into, I'm just going to say, the interaction with that, the relationship with that unfolding, because we're a part of the story unfolding. We are the main character of our own story, right? So what are you anticipating these days? Tell me one thing.
I don't know yet. I really don't. Like it's like they say that this is the start codon. It's to new life.
Yeah. It's the key to the door. And I just want to back up when he says the fantasy, you have the key in the door, but you never turn it. I thought that was a really beautiful metaphor because it's visual. It's like, oh, but in emanate or anticipation, you turn it and you start to, push the door open.
When you start to take action for your dreams.
Yeah. And it's being the co-creator. That's, I think, some of the point. And then in the sense of the acknowledgement that I have a part in the play. Like if I don't know that I'm supposed to walk out on stage and say my lines, then, or if I'm not aware that that's my cue, my dream is my cue. My vision is my cue, right? That calling, that aliveness, that dream in my heart. And then emanation. That's tricky.
I can't even touch that. The only thing
you're already floating away.
He talked about that emanation is the black hole where everything came from. And I remember I had this experience with my husband who's passed away that I really thought he was a black hole. Like that was my experience of him. And like, what does that even mean? It's like all of life beginning. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So wait a minute. So hold on a second. In the fantasy is the life. Life beginning.
Yeah, that's
like in that fantasy is all of life beginning. And the only thing I just saw, I'm just seeing it right now. It's like in the shadow is all the gifts, and in the shadow is this emanation. In the fantasy is the emanation.
Right.
And so what it's saying, like like what I'm hearing, the whisper is get up and take an action. It's that simple.
or follow the
Wow.
thread of light.
Yes.
And I just saw when you said that, I saw like, here's fantasy, like let's say it's a bag and it's over your hands. And then you go emanation, you just turn the bag inside out with your hands, like the other side of it.
Yes. But my hands, that action was
Yeah,
what had to have happen.
that's it. Yeah. The anticipation is the motion.
Mhm.
And then emanation is so like, it's like the exhale.
It it's so curious. I want to see if I can feel this. In the constriction of the fantasy
Mm.
is the liberation of the emanation.
Mm-hmm.
In that bound energy of that tight fantasy not going anywhere is all the energy of the universe.
It's, it just is, you know, there is no word. There is no words. There are no words. But it's like all of creation um, already just vibrating its energy, pulsing its energy into the everythingness. Like emanation. It's like when I was when we were laying on the grass this weekend and I put my nose into the grass and I was telling you, I smelled this beautiful scent of like alfalfa, deep grass, soil, mud. It was all the things of earth and it stayed with me. I thought, oh, that's an emanation of that scent, the perfume that he taught, that beautiful aroma. It was like, it's an emanation from the earth.
God, I can feel it's like waves,
Mm.
like waves of energy.
And it's silent. That's not great for a podcast.
I know.
It
Hi, we're
is.
going to come on and be on a podcast and we're going to be silent together.
Hey, I think we should do it. See how many likes we get. How many 5-star ratings.
Oh my God.
There's
Yeah.
but there's a stillness to it. And I recognize that more and more. Like the acidic frequencies, the levels of, the awareness of frequency and consciousness in that, there's just the silent stillness in order to absorb or be a part or recognize its presence.
And what I want to say, why I want to talk about this and share it,
Mm,
and why it matters to me is that this is inside of me
mm,
and it has a certain feeling. Like we're talking about it, and I can feel my body chemistry change. I can feel a different feeling in me. Like I feel this deep love.
mm, mm,
And how it shows up to me in my life is that because I have this feeling or understand this, like last night I was at a donut shop. Yes, I eat donuts every once in a while. Damn, they're good because they get out of the fryer and they're hot. And, oh,
yeah, awesome.
but a woman with 3 kids forgot something
Mm,
on the counter. And I ran out of the store and I found her.
mm,
And she was so grateful.
mm, mhm,
And it's because I realized we're all the same.
mm, mhm,
And if this material and this understanding makes me a kinder person, I'm
mm.
in. Oh, I got one other story. Can I share one other one?
I have one too, but yeah.
Oh, you share.
Well, it's just more of like like that kindness. It's like that kindness, like I just felt it. It's like kindness is the anticipation. Kindness is the act, the kindness towards ourselves. So it's like, what have we metaphorically forgotten on the counter that we need to
Mm.
pick up and bring back to ourselves? So I felt that when you were sharing that you actually ran out of the donut shop and maybe even left a donut behind to be this kind soul to this mother of three.
Of course, and of course I would.
Yes, of course you would.
And that's what, if this makes us kinder,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Gene Keys transmission and prophecy is nothing but that. The kindest material I've ever met, the kindest experience I've ever had. What was your other story? I'm so curious.
Oh, yesterday, my daughter and I were driving to go get tea,
Mm-hmm.
and she was beginning to tell me what a great mother I am. And if people know my story, my daughter and I have struggled.
Mm-hmm.
And what I said is that, like, I haven't traveled much in my life. I haven't gone many places, but where I've spent my money is traveling inside of me and becoming self aware
Mm-hmm.
and developing the inner world
Mm-hmm.
of me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's translated to my children loving me
Mm-hmm.
and for them being strong, good people in the world. And I'm like, well, that was money well spent.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yeah.
We didn't go many places, but they know I love them.
Yeah.
And they're clear about that and they feel safe with me.
Mm-hmm.
And we've managed the world of hardship,
Mm-hmm.
deep hardship,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and we're okay.
Yeah. It's so beautiful, Anna. It's
And
just,
I'm grateful for that.
yeah. Yeah. You invested in your heart, and by extension, your children are more loved, and also you are more loved. And you love
Yeah.
yourself more. I've seen you transform in the love of your own self and your own heart in life. It's beautiful.
And that to me is worthy.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, maybe that's it. The emanation from the universe is love. And we're catching the wavelengths out into the universe.
Mhm. We're remembering that we are that love. We
Yeah.
are that universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 41. One and done.
What I done. All right. People want to come cry with us or be silent. Or reflect or learn how to see something new for themselves so they can experience more love and grace. Third
Mhm.
Thursday of the month. Check us out, exquisitebeing.com.
It's on the invitations page. Sign up. Come on over. We'll have
Or if you
tea.
would or if you would love to learn more about the Gene Keys, we'd love to share with you. Begin
Yeah.
your journey.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Molly.
Thanks, Anna.